Hey guys, it is that time of the month. No, what that means is we are sending out another 25 book pre-screen to CGC to see how we do. If you've watched any of my videos, every month I send out 25 books. Most of them I don't press. Every once in a while I'll press a couple. I think there may be one or two that I might have pressed in this one, but mostly I'll send them out, see how we do, and then if they come back rejected, then we'll take a look and see if it's worth a press. I spent a lot of time, I realized, on going through my long boxes and trying to figure out what it is that I want to send in. Amazingly, it takes like a couple of days to actually go through and find books that I really do want to send in. But in this one, I try to give a nice eclectic mix, so hopefully you'll enjoy the books that are going in and may see a cover or two that you may want to jump on if you can get a good price on it. So let's start off. So the first book is Black Widow number 6, and this is cover A. This is a fairly new book. It got really hot. This is the first appearance of Lucy Wynn. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And there are some nice variant covers for this. This book in a 9.8, even though it's brand new, is basically selling for over $100. I think it's going for about $110 to $115 right now. So I am going to send in a copy and see how we do on this one. And for the most part, just to give you an idea, on most of these books, the reason, or one of the reasons how I kind of decipher what I'm going to send in, is I typically look for books, number one, that are either hot, spec books, but generally books that have a value of over $100 to make it somewhat worthwhile. Sometimes that's not always the case, but on most of these books. Book number 2 is Spider-Man number 234. This again is cover A. This book I've had in my collection. I didn't realize how much this book is going for in a 9.8. So this is the first appearance of Iron Spider, which is, I believe, Miles Morales' uncle. You can leave me a comment down below if I'm mistaken and all. But this book in a 9.8 is going for approximately $200 right now. So you know, when I saw this, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send this in. We're going to see how well we do. But I was amazed that that book is going in for that kind of money. So the next two books, Stray Dogs. So this is number 5, another brand new book. These are the horror variant covers. This is the Friday the 13th one, and I have 2 copies I'm gonna send in. Usually if I can get doubles, I'll send them in. If I can hit both of them, hopefully, I will keep one and put the other one up for sale, and that's how I kind of have the hobby pay for itself for the most part. But all of my single ones are typically for me. I'm not a big, huge flipper or anything like that. It's for my personal collection that I like to keep. So with Stray Dogs being super hot, we're gonna send in these for a pre-screen. I also later on will show you some books I am going to be sending out for the signature with the writers, both Trish and Tony Fleecs. I'm going to be sending in books in for their signature. This is another one. This is Stray Dogs. This is the horror variant number. This is number 2, but this is the store exclusive for Cape and Cowl. So this is a really nice one. And I only have 1 copy, but we're going to send that in as well. Next book up. This is Gamma Flight. This is Gamma Flight number 1. And this one is particularly the Where the Wild Things Are variant. This is a ratio one. I believe this is 1 in 25. And I just really like this. It's nostalgic for me, given the Where the Wild Things Are cover. And so we're going to send that in and see how we do. Okay, next book up. I've talked about this in some of my other videos and actually sent a couple out. Another copy of Champions number 1. This is the cover A. This book right now has been really hot even though it's been under the radar. So you can get this book for about anywhere from $5 to $10, but 9.8 in this book has been selling for over $200. And so given that, I'm going to send another copy that I was able to get in and see how I do. I'm hoping to have a couple that I can obviously put up for sale and all. There's a number of variants to cover A. So, whether you can, I would look them up because it seems like a couple of the variants are like the Kamala Khan negative space variant. That's another good one. But cover A just alone has really been holding its own. So if you can grab that, for cover price or a little bit over, I think it's worthwhile, whether you're looking to flip it or hold on to it to see if they do a version of the Champions team. Next book up is White, #1. This is by Black Mask. This book has a very limited print run in cover A, the first printing, which is 2,500. So this book raw right now is going for approximately $75 or so. So we're going to send this in. They are doing a second printing, which is a much bigger print run, is my understanding, than the 2,500. But I was able to get one of these, so we are going to send this in and see how it turns out. Next one, a classic, X-Force #11. This is the first appearance of Domino. I was lucky enough to have Rob Liefeld come into town where I live, and I took X-Force 11 and had him sign it and submitted it with a CGC facilitator. So we're going to see how we do on that one. But this one's just going to be sent in for a pre-screen 9.8, and hopefully we will hit on this. The next book up is Defenders, and this is number 94. This book is, I believe, 1981. This is the first appearance of Gargoyle. This was a nice near mint copy that I found. Whenever you're submitting right now to CGC on what I'll call older modern books, anything in the 80s or early 90s, it becomes really difficult. But since this is a clean copy, we're going to take the chance and submit this. This one, I believe, was pressed. So we're going to hopefully have that going for us. Next one is Machine Man, and this particular one, number 7, is the first appearance of the power broker Curtis Jackson. So this book got really hot with regards to the Falcon and Winter Soldier series on Disney Plus. I was able to get a copy. I just never had the opportunity to submit it. I also had this pressed. This one's going to be tough. I don't know if this particular one's going to cut it at a 9.8. There are maybe a non-color breaking, one, but I did press it as best as it can be. So we're going to submit it and we're going to see how we do, and then we can decide from there. So this one is going into the batch. So next one is one, again, that I was looking through in my collection and it caught me off guard. This is Moon Knight number, I believe it's 195, and this is the Virgin Deadpool variant. This particular cover, while it's not a first appearance or anything like that, is going for approximately $200, at this point in time. And I just didn't realize it's been sitting in the collection. I might have paid $7 to $10 for this cover. I just thought it was a really nice cover. And given what it's going for right now, I'm going to take the shot and submit it, and we'll see how we do. Next book is America, number 5. This particular one it's not a first appearance or anything like that, other than you've got a cover with America Chavez, Lucky the Pizza Dog, and Hawkeye. With Haley Steinfeld coming into the Hawkeye series. This is a good spec book, and we're going to submit this as a near mint copy and see how we do. Okay, so next book up is Ultimate, number 1. And this is the first appearance of Ao or Io from the Dora Milaje, with Black Panther and the Wakanda series coming up and Black Panther 2 coming out. We're going to try and send this one in and see if we can hit on it. I believe this book now has kind of picked up a lot more steam. There are a couple other books with some of the Dora Milaje and first appearances now coming out that may have some value to it. If you can get this book typically will run you about $10 to $20, somewhere in that range. I wouldn't pay anything more than that for this. You may even be able to get a better deal if you can find one, but a good book. Also going in is the first appearance of Beavis and Butthead in comics, and this is Beavis and Butthead number 1. So this is just an iconic kind of classic for someone my age in their I would say 40s to mid 30s. Anyone who can remember MTV and Beavis and Butthead, this is a great one. So this book right now is going approximately for about $170 in a 9.8. I was able to pick up that copy for $10. I think it's kind of like a borderline hit or miss on that, so we're going to see how we do. The next bunch of books are going to be really geared to Something is Killing the Children. I've kind of been holding off and building up some ones to send in. I still have some other ones, but the next couple, given the news with the Netflix and the option, we're going to send these out and see how we do. So the first one in that mix is Something is Killing the Children, number 2. This is cover A, and this is the first cameo of Octo and the first appearance of Tommy Mahoney. And I am putting a little note on this with that information to CGC. It is not on the label on any really of the Something is Killing the Children other than the first one. I have the Jenny Frison New York Comic Con, the foil variant. That obviously has the first appearance of Erica Slaughter. But once you get past that, I just have not seen any information on any of the labels. So I'm going to put that on there and see if they acknowledge that, assuming we hit. The next one is another one. This is number 6. Now this one is the 1 per store variant. And so it's kind of like, you'll see the virgin top. It doesn't have it, Something Killing the Children. And this is the, in number 6, you're talking the first full appearance of Cecilia Slaughter. So I am again going to note that and send it to CGC to see if they acknowledge it. We'll see what happens on it. My understanding is that, when you put these notes on it, they sometimes will take it into consideration, sometimes not, but it doesn't hurt to try. And I do that with a lot of these where I believe like Io on the Ultimates, that's not noted on the CGC label, so I'm sending in a sticky with it. Same thing for all of these. Another Something is Killing Children. This one is number 9. Cover A again. This is the cameo of Jessica Slaughter, so I will put that information on. But again, a lot of these are cover A's that I was able to pick up to try and get. Another Something is Killing Children. This is number 11, and this particular one is the first full appearance of the old dragon, which is like the head of the Order of St. George. Now with the Enter the House of Slaughter coming out, and all of the news, these books have just kind of all gone up. Whether it's a variant that you're able to pull or even the cover A's have really become very worthwhile. Something to note is, since Enter the House of Slaughter is coming up, there is a free comic book day, I believe next month for August 2021, that you'll be able to get your hands on, and that's kind of like the preview for the Enter the House of Slaughter. I know that a lot of retailers and people are putting in their orders next month and in September, because I believe Enter the House comes out in October. So just something to keep in mind on that. And this one is the 1 in 25 on issue number 17. This is the origin of Erica Slaughter, and this is just a really nice ratio cover. And so we're going to submit this one, and I really do hope these Something Is Killing the Children ones hit. Since we're going hard on Tynion, this particular 25 book set, which is a little different from my usual Marvel ones, we're going to throw a DC one in there, but we're going to stick with Tynion. This is the Nice House on the Lake. This is the 1 in 25 for issue number 1 on it. So this, you know, anything right now, Tynion has been really hot, whether it's Department of Truth, Something Is Killing the Children, Nice House on the Lake. It seems like everything he touches right now is pretty much been gold. So if you haven't, I would definitely think about jumping on with your LCS to put it on your pull list for Enter the House of Slaughter. Since it hasn't come out, you can easily do that. You can grab these Nice House on the Lake ones. These have been going up. This 1 in 25 is going for about $40 to $50 right now. So, I mean, over ratio, almost double, and definitely worthwhile to pick up if you can. And that is a DC Black Label. Next 2 books I've already sent in. I have a couple copies. I even have some for sale. But you can't go wrong with the Star Wars The Force Awakens adaptation. This book, if you're not familiar with it, there are some other variant covers. There's a black and white of this. There are a couple other ones that are just really nice. This is the first appearance of Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren, and I believe General Hux on this. So CGC does not note it though on the labels. I'm going to send in a note again with these 2 and try and see. This book is going for anywhere between $160 and $180 in a 9.8. If you're able to pick this up and can find it, you can find it somewhere between $5 and $10 raw. I think it's worthwhile. I know there's some Star Wars fans that are just not thrilled with this series, you know, with Rey and such, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you are a Star Wars person, they are still part of canon. It's still a number of first appearances, so whether it's Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren, I still think it's worthwhile, and I still think that this book has a lot of room to grow, just if it's currently sitting at $160 to $180 for these kind of appearances that we've already kind of seen now in the movies, and now we'll see what comes later on with backstory and history and such. Couple more books. So this is Static number 1. This is the Lunar Thank You variant, the 1 per store. On this one, I did not read this one or anything. I was able to get it whenever I can try and grab a 1 per store thank you. I tend to do that, especially if I can do it over a cover A on it. You know, the original Static book, I think with Michael B. Jordan and all getting involved, has kind of picked up. And so this new series for 2021, this premiere issue has a couple of nice ratio variants as well, covers, and this is just what the thank you 1 per store one looks like. So this one typically it runs for anywhere from $50 to $75. I think that's kind of, I would say, very typical for thank you variants or 1 per store variants. You typically see them at LCSs for $50 to $75. If you start seeing them higher than that, I would shop around, whether it's online or not, because I just think it gets out of price. And my last one going in for this submission is, anybody who's watched my video, I really do like the all-women's team, is A-Force number 1. This is cover A. This one I have already submitted a couple copies and different variants for this one. You know, a 9.8 typically goes anywhere between $130 and $160. You know, this is the first appearance of Singularity. However, it's really the first team appearance for all-women's team, A-Force. And, you know, I think later on that, you know, given the nature of what Disney Plus is trying to do, that an all women's team is at some point going to hit, and I think this will be the book when it does. That's just my speculation, but these covers, they have kind of gone up. You can typically get cover A for anywhere between $10 to $20, somewhere in that range. If you can get it lower than that, grab it, in my opinion. However, there are a number of variant covers that can still be had for under $10. There's the Scotty Young variant I've kind of showed off and submitted on my channel. Midtown has their variant cover that can still be picked up usually when they do a sale for about $5 to $7. And then you get into more of the ratio variants, and Stephanie Hans has a beautiful cover. I don't have any of the ratio variants, but I'm on the lookout, so you should be on the lookout, because I really think that they are going to pick up in value. So those are the 25 books. I'm going to sit down tonight, get them all entered in, get everything boxed up, and get it out this week over to CGC. Just an update, I did send some books on the 2-day Modern to CBCS. I also sent in with some of those books, I sent in a reholder, and I don't know if that may be the delay, but you know, last time I sent in 2-day Moderns, it took approximately 9 days. This one does not seem like it's going to be doing that. Shipping did take a little while, but we're already, I think now, week 2, so something's going on. Either they're backed up, or maybe it's the reholder, and that'll be a lesson to me and maybe a lesson to anybody who's watching. If you're going to do a 2-day Modern, don't submit anything else with it right now. I would just do 2-day Modern. They entered it right into the system, but it's just showing processed, and I'm still kind of waiting. I also sent in some books back in the end of May, and those were entered in the system, but they are still sitting, so it is, you know, apparently taking a little bit more time now with CBCS getting more busy, and I'm trying to utilize to some extent both of them when I can. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. Let's talk about the stray dogs, because I did mention that before, and I am sending in some covers for signature, and I do want to show you off some covers. I haven't decided all of the ones I'm sending in. I am sending in, this is cover A. This one is definitely going to go, and this is the CGC. If you haven't seen these are the ones they sell where you can just flip it open, they sign it, and I do actually really like these. They load from the top, whereas some of the other ones, and I can't remember if it's Ultra Pro or BCW that has a similar one, they slide in from the side. Actually like the top ones better, you know, not that I want to give CGC any more money than they already get, but these are really nice. The only difference is the ones that you get from, I don't know if it's Ultra Pro or not, have like a little bit of a stick here, so you can pull it off and actually close this. This one does not, it's just basically a 3-way flap. But still, nonetheless, very nice. So cover A is definitely going in for signature. Let me show you some of the other covers, because these are really nice. I'm trying to get all of them for the most part. This one is Stray Dogs, and let me see which issue. I'm trying to remember on the printing. This is Stray Dogs #1. This is the 4th print on the horror variants. This is a really, these are just really nice covers. I really like what they did with these horror variants. Same thing, this one is #2, the 3rd printing. I mean, just beautiful covers. I don't believe those are going to go in my opinion. At least I'm not going to probably submit them. We have, again, another one with Stray Dogs. And these are all horror variants. Pet Cemetery one, I believe. And then this is Stray Dogs. This is the 2nd print of #1. And some of these books are just going for astronomical numbers right now. Given that this series has also been optioned, here is #1. This is the Silence of the Lambs cover. You've got issue #3. one of my favorites that I was able to get a hold of. And there's only 500 of these. And this is from Bird City Comics. This is issue number 5. This is the It variant. You get the certificate of authenticity. And so this one is fantastic. I can tell you this one is going in for a signature. I am also lucky enough to have, it's already slabbed. I actually bought it slabbed for $80 before the series really took off. I have the Poltergeist #1 horror variant issue, and that's limited to 500 as well. And I believe that was from Brainy Comics or Brainiac Comics. I might be off on the name, but that's a CBCS 9.8 that I picked up for $80 before it blew up. I think now it's going for around $300 to $400. The real variant that I'm trying to get a hold of that I'm missing is that Blair Witch one. And that Blair Witch one has eluded me. That raw is selling for about $400 to $500. And last one, and this one is definitely going in as well. This is #1. This is the acetate cover. So if you can't tell, and I'm not going to take it out, this cover right here kind of opens up to the with an acetate type thing to cover 1. And so this is basically was I believe a 1 in 25 ratio variant, and I was able to pick this one up for ratio price. So this one is getting signed as well. So like I said, #1 regular, #1 acetate, and the It cover are definitely going. And then I may throw in another one, such as, like I said, something like the Silence of the Lambs or the second print. I'm not quite sure yet which one I'm going to do. So that's the video for today. 25 books going into CGC. They will get there because I live in Florida, so they usually, once I ship them out, take about a day to get there, maybe 2 at the max. So they'll be there before the end of the month, and now we'll play the waiting game on how long it will take. I have just a tremendous amount of books over at CGC. I do have 2 different orders over at CBCS. And so we will see what happens, and hopefully in the next video I will have some back to show off. But guys, tell me what you think. I'm also interested to know, how do you pick your books that you're going to send off, whether it's CBCS, PGX, CGC, however, how do you pick your books? What is it that you look for to determine if you're going to send it in? And I understand some are going to send it in with keys, and I have older books. Obviously, these are pre-screened, so it's a little different. So tell me kind of your methodology. I'm definitely interested to hear what everybody has to say and do. Again, on the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I try and answer and respond to most everybody. Same thing, you can find me on Instagram at the 1284 Comics. And also, if you're happen to go to MegaCon in Orlando for August, I believe it's August 12th through 15th, if I'm not mistaken, I will be there. So please send me a message, let me know. I'd love to meet up and get to see some more of the people in the community and hunt in some of the long boxes with you guys. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.